Hi, this is Simply Love Yoga. I'm Samantha Lavery, and today we're going to do some yoga to relieve any tension that we might be feeling in our shoulders and our spine. So grab your mat. Today have a couple of blocks. If you haven't got blocks, a couple of cushions or pillows will suffice, and let's get started. So we're going to start with our legs crossed. You can do this standing up as well if you prefer. We're just going to relieve some tension in the shoulders. So just relax your arms and just bring the shoulders up towards the ears and then coming back and down. So just rotating the shoulders should feel quite nice. Helps to relieve any tension. You're really exaggerating that movement. Using your breath, taking an inhale, and as you bring your shoulders down, take an exhale, and then we'll go the other direction. So shoulders to the ears, moving forward this time, down and around. And again, you're trying to exaggerate that movement. It really helps to relieve any tension you might be feeling in your shoulders and your neck. Particularly if you've been sat at a desk or driving a lot, can really help. Last one. And just so I'm going to mirror you, just bring your left hand down, bring your right arm over your head, just bring your shoulders back and down as you look up to your ceiling, just stretching, feeling the stretch into the waist, lengthening through the neck as you look up, and then coming back to a central position. Change hands, left arm comes up, shoulders come back and down, look up to the ceiling, just creating some space between the shoulder and the neck, and coming back to a central position. Inhaling. And exhaling, just nice flowing movement, just to get your body loosened up. One more on each side. Just breathing nice and easy. And then clasp your hands in front of your body. Turn to push the palms forwards. As you do, you pull your navel back and you really round into the spine, stretching the shoulders, pulling that navel in, and you bring your hands towards you as you lift the chest, shoulders come back and down again, pushing the hands forward, arching your spine, and bring the hands in, shoulders come back and down. One more, should feel quite nice. Pull that navel in and then release. This time bringing the hands behind your back, clasping your hands, and as you do, you draw the hands towards the floor. So they're close into the buttocks, squeezing your shoulder blades, lifting your chest, you're drawing your shoulders back and down, just bringing some length into the neck. Slightly squeezing the shoulder blades, just looking down, and then slowly release. And then just come into a kneeling position. We'll do some cat-cow, really good for releasing tension in your shoulders, neck, and the spine. So just make sure you have your wrists underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, tops of the feet flat on the mat. Take an inhale, and then as you exhale, just push the spine up to the ceiling. The tailbone tucks under and your chin tucks to your throat. And then as you inhale, you lift the tailbone, dip the spine down to the mat, and then lift the head up to the ceiling. You feel this nice stretch. And again, round in your spine. So keep softness in the elbows. Inhale as you're lifting, and exhale as you round in, just keeping nice and relaxed. Again, you can do this as many times as feels comfortable, so you can pause the video if you want to do a few more. And just have a neutral spine. So thread the needle. We're going to bring the right hand up towards the ceiling and then thread it between the wrist and the knee as you bring your shoulder down, head, side of the head towards the mat. Just resting on the mat, this elbow up towards the ceiling. You can bring your knees a little bit further out if you want to create more space. And then again, pushing into the hand, lifting the arm up to the ceiling, opening the chest. And then exhale as you bring your arm through. Again, resting your arm, shoulder, side of the head onto the mat. We'll do one more, stretching up, inhaling. And exhaling. Resting the head down. This time we're going to extend the left leg out, just stretching into that heel. Nice stretch to the back of the leg. A little bit more of a balance here. And then lower that knee down, push into that left hand as you come up or back onto all fours. So we'll do the other side, adjust as you need to. Left arm comes up, take an inhale. Exhale as you're bringing that arm through between the arm and your knee, resting your arm down, shoulder down, side of the head, rest. So you look into the opposite side, adjust as you need to. And then coming back up, so you're pushing into the right hand, left arm comes up, inhale. And exhale as you bring that hand through. Again, resting your shoulder, head down on the mat. One more time, lengthening up, inhaling. Opening the chest and exhaling. Resting the head down. And then we're going to extend that right leg out, push it into the heel. Feel the stretch into the back of the leg. A little bit more of a balance here. And then just bringing that knee down, pushing into that right hand and coming back up onto all fours. So Anahatasana. So we're going to stretch the arms forward. As we stretch the hands forward, we push the hips back and we lower the chest down towards the floor, so you can feel a real opening to the chest, opening to the back of the shoulders. Just resting your forehead on the mat. Now, if you find that's quite a challenge to come down, you can always put a cushion or a block underneath your head, just raising the floor to you. Sticking your tailbone into the air should feel quite nice. Shoulders come back and down. You're really stretching out the armpits as well here. And then coming back up, adjusting your hands as you need to. We're going to come into a downward facing dog now. So hands are well in front of our shoulders. Turn your toes under. We're going to lift the sit bones up and the heels are stretching down towards the mat. So our shoulders come away from our ears. Really opens into the armpits. Pull that navel in. Downward facing dog is just great for working into the shoulders. Great for lengthening through the spine. You can bend your knees if you need to exaggerate that lengthening. And then just bring your knees down. We're going to lower down onto the mat. We're going to bring our arms back to face, so the fingers are towards our toes, palms facing upwards, and we can look towards the mat. So we're going to lengthen the feet away from the body. So you're stretching the legs away. We're going to lift the hands up and lift the feet up. Chest lift, shoulders come back and down. You're just looking ahead towards the floor. So you don't want to look up. You don't want to have a crick in your neck. But the shoulders and hands are stretching away. You pull your navel in. And then just lowering down. Forehead on the mat. And then clasp your hands behind your back. You're going to stretch the hands away. Pull your shoulder blades together as you lengthen your legs and feet away. Slightly lifting. Relieves tension in the neck and shoulders. Should feel quite nice. And then gently lower down. Releasing your hands. So bringing your arms in front of you this time to Sphinx pose. So elbows come underneath the shoulders. Forearms are flat, palms are flat, and you're stretching your feet away. So you're lifting your chest, shoulders come back and down. Pull that navel in, stretching your legs away. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale, nice stretch to the lumbar spine. It's really important that you don't hunch your shoulders up. Really elongate your neck. And then this time push into the hands. We're going to lift the elbows up, coming into a cobra pose. So just adjusting your hands if you need to. They can come a little bit wider so you can broaden your shoulders a little bit more. You're still stretching your legs away. Just looking ahead or down to the floor. A little bit stronger stretch to the lumbar spine this time. And depending on how much stretch you are, you can bring your fingers further away, and that just lessens the back bend. So it just depends on how you feel. But again, make sure you're not hunching your shoulders up. Shoulders come back and down. And then coming down. Back into Sphinx pose. So elbows underneath the shoulders, arms parallel, stretching your legs away. Push the tops of the feet in so that your thighs lift. Shoulders come back and down. Feel that length in the neck. And then coming back down again. Modified Shalabhasana. So just bringing the hands, palms facing up, stretching towards the feet. Lifting your legs, lifting your hands. Pull your navel in just as we did before. And then bring your legs down, clasp your hands, stretch them away, lift the shoulders, legs lift, stretching away. And then bring your hands, releasing your hands down, and we'll push back into child's pose here. So knees nice and wide, big toes together. Lengthen your sit bones towards your heels and stretching your arms forward. Forehead comes to the mat, but if you find that your buttocks are lifting quite high, to do that you can fold your arms and just bring the forehead to your folded arms, or you can bring your hands towards your feet. That can feel quite nice as well, and that can draw the shoulders away from the ears. Just focus on a breath. Feels nice. And then just stretch your arms forward if they're not already. Going to come back into downward facing dog. So come onto the knees, turn the toes under, pull your navel in, lift your sit bones up and the heels towards the mat. It should be quite a stretch to get your heels down again. If you've got tension in your hamstrings, just bend your knees slightly. Shoulders come away and you can bring your hands out towards the outer edge of the mat. And then bring your knees down. So we're just going to do a nice flow between cat-cow and a narrow downward facing dog. So just bring your hands underneath your wrists, underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Take an inhale And as you exhale, round your spine up to the ceiling, tuck your tailbone under, chin to your throat. Inhale as you lift your tailbone, lift your head, look up. And then come to a neutral spine, and then turn your toes under, come into that narrow downward facing dog, pushing your heels in, shoulders come away from the ears, so you get the openness to the chest and the shoulders lengthen through the spine. Get your heels down easier here, and then coming back down onto your knees. So again, inhale, have a neutral spine. Exhale, round your spine, pushing up to the ceiling. And then lift your tailbone, lift your head, look up. Neutral spine, turn your toes under, lift your sit bones up, lengthen through the spine. Should feel quite nice. Narrow downward facing dog, it's just a little bit easier to get your heels down, but lengthening through the spine also. So one more time. Knees down. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, push your spine up. Tuck your tailbone under, chin comes to your throat. And then inhale, lift your tailbone, lift your head, look up. Come into a neutral spine, and then lift your sit bones up. Just feel that nice stretch and length. It's just a short sequence. And maybe if you need to, you can do this every day, and just seeing how the difference it makes you feel. And then coming back down onto the knees. Tops of the feet flat on the mat. And then come into a kneeling position. This is where you might need your blocks or your cushions if you don't have blocks. So we're just going to come onto our knees and bring the knees together. You bring your feet out wide, and you just place a block or a cushion just between your feet. So you want your block or cushion just to come onto your sit bone, so it's not underneath your thighs. You can see my heels. I'm not resting on my heels. So you've got to be mindful of the tension in your knees here. So if you feel that is a little bit too strong a stretch, or if you're getting a little bit of pain, then you just bring your sit bones up and bring yourself to a higher raise, and it just releases any tension you might be feeling. You might need to put another block or a cushion under that, so it's important that you feel comfortable and that you don't feel any pain anywhere. And just as we did at the start, we're just going to clasp the hands, draw the hands down towards the mat, and that squeezes the shoulder blades, lifts the chest and look up. It should feel quite nice. And then release slowly, clasping your hands at the front. And we're going to push the palms out, pull the navel in as you stretch, and then draw the hands back to come to a neutral position. Push the palms forward, pull the navel back, arch the spine, stretching out the shoulders and pulling in. One more. Should feel quite nice. Stretching out and coming back in. And to come safely out this position, just come onto your hands, onto your knees. Just move the blocks or cushions out of the way. Move your feet to the side and come back to a seated position. As we finish, just into a cross legs position. Bring your hands to your knees. Shoulders are relaxed. And just take a moment, just noticing how you feel. Just noticing the effects of the practice on your body. And enjoy. Namaste.